everything. When I put money down, I put a hundy on a game last night. I don't care about anything but W. Lamar Jackson is 26-7 as a starter. Well, give me a break on, you don't like the way he throws. In California, when you're driving in Los Angeles, there's this freeway called the 405, and sometimes you get traffic jams, and I'm always jealous of motorcycles. They just weave in and out of traffic jams. He's the motorcycle on the 405 during a traffic jam. When somebody is great at something, and by the way, last night his passer rating, if you're into stats, is 101.8. It's not like you can't pass. When you're amazing at something, I'll allow you to be so-so at something else. Shaq was so dominant and powerful, I could live with his crappy free throw shooting, and it was awful. Tom Brady is incredibly unathletic, but he's so good pre-snap, in and out of trouble, I'll live with it. Tyreek Hill's the fastest guy in the NFL. I'll live with the fact he's not going to win many jump balls. He's tiny. Probably not a great blocker. Amazon Prime, their content overpriced a bit. Okay, doesn't blow me away. But good God, I order something and 15 minutes later, one of their drones drops it off at my house. I mean, this kid is the motorcycle in the traffic jam on the 405 in L.A. He's weaving in and out of stuff. And by the way, you put his passing numbers up. He passes well enough. Okay, if you look at his NFL rank right now, TD interception in the first 3 seasons is 3rd in the NFL. His passer rating is 4th. And I don't know how I don't even care about how you figure out a passer rating. His record now is much better than Josh Allen. This is not baseball. He wins games. When you give me something, it's like when you go buy a Ferrari, you give up gas mileage concerns. You give it up. You move to Phoenix. It's going to be hot in the summer, but the other 9 months are great. There are no perfect quarterbacks outside of Russell Wilson's even too small. Aaron Rodgers can be a little aloof. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's the perfect one. Good luck. Needle haystack, good luck. Did you know he was the perfect one 3 years ago at Texas Tech with a losing record? So Cowboy fans defend Dak to the core. He's not an elite thrower and not an elite runner. Lamar does something that's not available on the market. There's nobody that electric. I'll live with the passing stuff. He makes enough throws. He made one to the corner last night that was great. They were good on 3rd down. He seems to be good on 3rd down. John Harbaugh talks about, the guy had one practice last night and helped engineer a running game that created 294 yards.
Well, the one thing you do know about Lamar, you're going to get everything he's got, and that's really all you can ask for. He's going to give you whatever he has, and it turned out that he had a lot tonight, and that was good to see. I don't think you could predict that. He came out to practice. He looked good in practice. He was strong and healthy, and I'm just impressed with the fact that he was on top of the game plan so well. He'd been studying, obviously, the whole time he's away, and he played a great football game.
2 things I like about Lamar. He plays with urgency. Like when I watched Lamar play, this was my knock on Jay Cutler. I talked about this yesterday. It's been my knock sometimes on Sam Darnold, on Baker Mayfield. Sometimes they don't play with urgency. With Lamar, he makes every field play like it counts. That's big to me. Even when he makes mistakes, he plays with urgency. There's no casualness to the way he plays. I love that. The second thing is he's incredibly coachable. He takes criticism. He doesn't get defensive. He owns it, and he gets better at stuff. So those are really big things to me. He plays with urgency. When he fails on a play, he's mad at himself. He doesn't point fingers. He's pissed. But he's not yelling at you. He's not pointing fingers. He's mad at himself. And the other thing, boy, this is big to me, he doesn't get defensive about criticism. He owns it and then goes in the offseason and tries to fix it. So he's not perfect, but he's 26-7 as a starter. You can talk about whips all you want. I'm just, those are private to me. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
You like messing with the internet.
What? Excuse me?
So Eagles head coach Doug Peterson confirmed yesterday that he will be starting Jalen Hurts, the rookie, as the quarterback against the Saints.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson was asked about his decision to replace Carson Wentz as the starter.
We're not where we want to be as an offense. I looked at the whole thing and decided that for this week and to look for that spark again, to try to get the team over the hump, to try to get everybody playing better, right? And obviously the quarterback position is included there. So that's really the decision that I came to moving forward this week.
I really don't know where I sit on this. Obviously, I had a feeling that Jalen Hurts was going to be the starter for at least this week, and it's the right decision. Carson Wentz has been playing terrible. You can't continuously reward any player with the starting position while they're playing terrible if you have someone like Jalen Hurts sitting on the sideline. Now, if they had no one else and they have to ride out with the rest of the season with the way that Wentz is playing, fine. But you did draft Jalen Hurts, and everyone else on the team is sitting around like, the rest of us have to compete for our position, and if we don't play well, we might get replaced.
Right.
He's out here throwing the game away and looking terrible, and every week he's still there. You should see what we have in Jalen Hurts.
Now, I am a little bit on the opposite side, which is if you have a statue of a former backup and then you draft Jalen Hurts in the second round, he's going to be a little insecure. I'm going to give him a little pass on that. I know we should just get over it, but listen, I will watch the game. Philadelphia had moved into unwatchable territory.
Yes,
they are now back into watchable territory.
Must watch.
Yes. Like I just, that's kind of as a consumer, are you watchable or unwatchable? They move back into watchable territory because I want to see what happens.
Oh, no, the second he came in the game, the whole situation changed for us as well. Like this is content. There's a quarterback controversy in the middle of the season. We rarely get those. Yeah. So this is a big deal for us. But moving forward for the Eagles, what do you do? If Jalen Hurts does go out there, I'm not saying that they're going to beat the Saints, but if he keeps it competitive, if they do beat the Saints, then what do? They have the Saints, then they have the Cardinals. They're at the Cardinals, at the Cowboys, and then they have Washington for the rest of the season.
You know what's really funny? Just because it's the NFL, watch Philadelphia beat the Saints. That's so NFL.
And listen, Carson Wentz, I still believe can play. I think there's a lot of factors that are playing into his season.
Colts.
But you do also, if you want all the praise of a franchise quarterback, you do have to deal with the criticism of it. Right. I don't know. I'm almost always on players' sides with this.
Yeah,
but
and I'm very critical of players. So we're doing a role reversal.
We
here.
are, because I don't buy into the whole you have to walk past Nick Foles every day. You didn't physically win that Super Bowl. Did he contribute to that season? Of course. He was having an MVP season before he got injured. Yeah, he's a major reason that they won that Super Bowl.
I have a feeling you and Nick Wright will be on the same path on this.
We are in a very competitive business. There's not a day that I come into work without the anxiety that I could be replaced. So I do my job as such.
All right,
and if we came in and we had horrible ratings for an entire football season.
Yeah, that's never happened to either of us, but if it did.
It's never happened, but if it did, there would be changes and you would expect them.
All right.
So Dez Bryant, very weird situation before the game yesterday. Now, obviously we didn't know how much Dez was going to contribute to this game, but it was a storyline before the game started.
Yeah.
He was unable to play against the Cowboys because he tested positive right before last night's game. He was pulled from warm-ups, which is what he tweeted, that he was warming up. He was very unhappy. He then tweeted probably the tweet of 2020, which is, "I'm about to drink some wine and cope," which should really just be a shirt to define this entire year.
Really good.
His emotions were understandable, but they went out and Lamar Jackson said that they felt like they had to get the win for him.
That really is the 2020 tweet of the year.
It is the slogan of the year. I'm about to drink some wine and cope.
Really
he was obviously very upset. He said that he wasn't going to quit for the rest of the season. He said he also tweeted, "This was more than just another game for me. It wasn't about revenge. I didn't need a catch. I just wanted to make a point." I feel bad for Dez. This was something he was really looking forward to. I was looking forward to seeing him out there.
I didn't think he was. I'd be totally honest. I was shocked he's back in the league. I kind of thought he would do a TO, which is he looked great in a T-shirt, but best days behind him. And Baltimore, good organization, went and got him. So to me, him being there is one of the stories of the year.
Yeah, and it was significant. So, what basically happened was his test that he took earlier was flagged, so they had to retest him, and then when it came back,
what does that mean? It's flagged?
There were some irregularities with it or something. It was inconclusive or something like that.
I thought they were positive or negative.
You can have an inconclusive test, which generally means that you're positive, but they have to retest you. So, I mean, this is a lab.
You can have
something can be wrong with the sample. There wasn't enough or whatever. But it turns out he was positive, so he got taken out of the game. So according to reports, James Harden told the Rockets that he would be open to a trade to the 76ers or possibly other contenders. The Rockets and the Sixers have had no substantive talks about a potential Harden deal, according to sources. Now, Daryl Morey is with Philadelphia now. He said he doesn't want to break up Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I don't know what's going on in this situation with James Harden. He also posted a very interesting picture, a cryptic picture on Instagram. He's just posing in Adidas gear. There's no Rockets or NBA logo or
like he's an
like
independent guy.
Yes, like he's a free agent.
You know, that is, we should all use Twitter occasionally for that. I was very cryptic today on Twitter. It's fun. That Twitter should, I always tell my daughter, manipulate it. It's a toy. Don't use it as a necessity.
Yeah. I mean, social media in general.
Fun. It's a toy.
It's a job to me. I always think it's funny when people think that they know me.
Yeah,
I'm good for going on an entire weekend trip and no one even knows I was gone.
Yeah, me, actually.
I choose to allow you to see. I'm actually an extremely private person, as you know. I choose to